The Falls Count Everywhere Podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. We Talk Wrestling, for the one stop you need for the most intriguing stories and headlines and info on independent shows in multiple regions. We Talk Wrestling has you covered. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional wrestling today. Pro Wrestling on Tuesdays are a blast with the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Join the Night Owl, DJ Big Sexy, Luke Roberts, The Alpha, Jay Wade, Nightmare Jones, and many others as they bring you the hottest takes on the major circuits, showcase interviews with various indie stars, and the only place to get news on the most popular fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Catch them live every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central. Find all of their media outlets on their website at WrestleTalkPodcast.com. Before each and every show, we'd like to remind our audience that freedom is never free, and all of us should be grateful to those who lay it all on the line. To all our first responders, military, and volunteers that help our nation every day, we love you and appreciate the sacrifices you make to protect all of us. Get ready for episode number 102 of the Falls Count Everywhere Podcast as we break down the preview of WWE's Night of Champions, AEW's Double or Nothing, and also a counterpoint session on various rumors in the world of wrestling. This podcast is scheduled for one episode where Falls Count Everywhere. Good evening, one and all. You know what time it is, baby. It's time to party right here with the Falls Count Everywhere Podcast here. We're at episode number 102, and we'll welcome everybody here on this lovely Sunday evening. Of course, some of us chilling, some of us working, and but whatever we do, we're, I guess, trying to get things done before the big Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see how things pan out here for us this week. We got the, I guess, the dynamic duo, I would say, here at the podcast. I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby here on your left-hand side. Of course, to the right of your screen, of course, the Gem City Mouse, Zmiz.
What's good?
Looks like Typhoon's holding on. He's not tripping off or falling.
So. No, he didn't fall through anything. Yeah, he's holding on for dear life. It's the best he's ever looked.
By the way, if you get a chance to, make sure you're checking out or search for YouTube a Road Trip After Hours with Teddy Long and Mac Davis. Their latest episode goes over that SICW Fan Fest. There is a skit in the middle of that you will die laughing at. So,
wait, I need to go watch it?
Well,
or just everybody?
On, it's probably about the 9-minute 45-second mark is where that skit begins, if I remember correctly, and it's very entertaining. So,
okay.
Other than that, yeah. So anyway, yeah. I know we can't really see these names, but I understand here, guys. Probably, there's some of you are watching here. If you can, like I said, I know you go through We Talk Wrestling on the Facebook side, and of course, we can see your name on the YouTube, and of course on Twitch, and we're of course not broadcasting Wreckfest anymore, but
Good choice.
Oh my gosh. Then of course also on Twitter at FCE Podcast. That's where we're all streaming out here tonight. Oh my goodness. So still a week after one of the biggest weeks here. So I'll just let it be known here in case for those who did not catch it here. I'm actually after my long weekend, and something happened here on Friday afternoon, getting ready for actually my best friend's wedding. Just out of the ordinary mishap of my knee buckling, and actually did some damage to some cartilage. and the muscles over the knee, and now I've got an MCL sprain, and now I'm going through sports therapy to get it strengthened. So now I'm out of action till like about mid-June. So,
Dang.
hey,
Rest up,
happens.
dude. Rest up. You gave a good valiant effort, and you put all your heart and soul into all this. So rest
I
up.
mean, I'll be honest here. I was trying to hide the aches and all that on through all day Saturday because I did a lot on the day and night before with the wedding and rented shoes nonetheless. So, kind of fluffy guys like me need my
Maybe you should have
sprinkle
came out to the
insoles.
van with me a couple times.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Unless you got some topical creams or something to rub on my kneecap, that's the only thing that probably would have helped. But
Oh no.
token will help me, bro. I'm telling you that right
I'm
now.
gonna
It's
put
just,
you on a cloud.
oh my
We
gosh.
could have lifted your spirits.
All right, yeah. Forget
Really,
about the
really,
pain.
really brought out the green in your eyes.
Right, right. I get you. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess in Missouri it's for recreational use around here anymore. So yeah, but it's getting better here. It's still sore, but I got to go through exercises and get it strengthened, and of course I'll be undergoing therapy another 3 weeks for the knee. That is, but some of us need therapy for other reasons. I'm sure. Uh, uh, Zach has some tests recently on that we were just talking about, and oh my god, I would need to do that myself
Oh, right?
if I was in his shoes.
Yeah.
But that's all right, man. Hey, everybody, throw up your comments, questions, or anything else here.
Champs in
We've
the
got
house.
quite a bit here to go through. We're mainly going to be kind of zoning in on AEW's Double or Nothing that happens next Sunday, and then of course WWE's Night of Champions over in Saudi Arabia on Saturday. Now, do keep in mind here, guys, for those who are not familiar with time changes, that show is going to be on during the day,
Yeah.
or unfortunately in
At
the
like noon.
morning, like 10 or something like that, 10 or 9. So make sure y'all are not sleeping in before the catch Night of Champions live. If not, you just have to wait till you get the replay to stream again on Peacock. So there you go. Thank you very much. I gotta change my thing. Thanks for pulling that up. Sounds- hey, I just want to be part of the cool kids. That's all.
uh,
That's all. Gotta be part of the cool kids.
I
There.
want
Okay.
to
Now
make
I
sure.
changed it.
There we go.
I don't
I
know what I
like
would
it.
do. It's like my head's attached, but I'm not using it right.
Hey, it's all right. The world could use more Zmizes.
Oh my gosh. We want to send out our well wishes to GQ as well. He's still trying to recuperate for ever undergoing some shoulder surgery, and he's just not feeling up to par, which I can understand because trust me, there was even doubts if I was going to do something here tonight. And I was like, man, I don't know, because I'm just blah, and I was still doing the stuff, still feeling blah, but I don't know. We may or may not even do a show next week for Memorial Day, but we want you to make sure that you're spending time with family, with the most important things. And if we get tied up with something most important things, we don't want to put family off to the side in case that happens. So, um, but yeah, um, hi Z, I'm Z Tyler.
I don't know if that works, man.
uh,
I don't
uh,
know.
yeah, how do you pronounce that? Is that like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even going to guess on that.
There is actually supposed to be a hyphen in between the Z and the M, so it's Zmiz, but like it just became one thing.
It's all right. Like punctuation's overrated. Just just blur it all together.
It just became its own
It's
thing.
all right. No big deal.
I couldn't control it.
Yeah.
My markness for the man that is the Miz took on a life of its own, and I can't control it. It just happened.
Yeah.
Actually, Tyler, that's exactly how I originally wanted it to be. Is typed like this. And then all my buddies just put it together. I had the comment, like if you go back, way back. So we used to, this is way off topic, okay, but this is my
No,
love
you're
for
good.
wrestling. So this is, let me give you a little run back on how Zmiz became a thing. Okay, so back in the day when we were in our dumb 20s and stuff, my buddies and I liked wrestling so much we'd get together on the weekends and watch, the pay-per-views, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, then we also started to be able to do a adult activity that has to do with ping pong balls and red Solo cups. So we took the two worlds of beer pong and wrestling and put them together and came up with a beer pong league. It was an underground beer pong league in Quincy, Illinois, called the Quincy Beer Pong Association, where
The QBPA.
where we would stumble out into our community, find
Stumble?
local people at our bars, and bring them back to my buddy's house where we would party and play beer pong. We'd have like 4 tables up, bro, 5 tables up, playing beer pong, and we were putting on like legit matches with names and all that stuff. Like one of my buddies called himself Liquor T. There was Jack Stagger. Like we made up all these names and we'd cut like promos, all kinds of stuff. And they started calling me Zmiz beforehand at the shows because I was the only. So when he came out and did his first like interview thing where he's like the host of SmackDown, you remember that?
Right.
Okay, I'm like, holy cow, it's Mike Mazzana. Like I was pumped, and all my buddies are like, what? And so it just kind of became the thing, and then they just moved it over into beer pong, and then it just kept growing, and now it's me. I love it. The Miz has been the greatest wrestler since day one. Not really, but like.
I was gonna say he's kind of on a little bit of a losing streak. He's trying to catch up with who was it? Kurt Hawkins. I mean, he's a long way off from Kurt Hawkins.
If they do something like that, I'm totally cool with it. Miz, somebody on We Talk Wrestling was just complaining about him, or like I posted that he's gone since the beginning of 2000.
Wait, people complain about wrestling?
Oh, right.
Sorry.
Since the beginning of 2023, Miz has lost every match, or a singles match. Has lost every single match since.
Oh my.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not looking.
I heard something of that. Yeah.
and I posted about it just because I wanted to see what the reaction of like the We Talk Wrestling group was, and like they're like, it doesn't matter. He's not doing anything. I'm like. He's entertaining me still. Like, I hate watching The Miz lose because I'd much rather watch The Miz win and be victorious all the time. But, like, he's still just so dumb and entertaining that you just can't not enjoy him. Right. And that's what I love about him. That's why I like The Miz so much, is because he knows he's not the best wrestler. Like, he knows that. But he's actually really good. People don't give him credit for just being the clean guy. Like, not doing stupid stuff, just being the clean guy in the ring. And that's what makes him is too, is because he can tell the story as the character outside of the whole wrestling art. And it just merges so well. And I can't wait to see him hopefully change his character. My hopeful is that we get a new like flip here soon. Like Miz changes something and boom, he could go right back into the main event scene. He really could.
I was going to say, because if you're going to do a change of anything, do it if you're going to make some type of impact, or if you're going to get some type of a story to push yourself through. Because if you don't, why are you doing it in the first place? It's like you just changed your name. It's like, like Sean Waltman when he came in and he started naming himself all these kind of kid names, when he first jobbered out. And then finally beats Razor Ramon, and he goes to the 1, 2, 3 kid. So it's
this is gonna piss people off. The only time Sean Waltman has ever been decent in his whole career, beating Razor Ramon, as the 1-2-3 kid and becoming the 1-2-3 kid, I think it was, right? Because he was just the kid at first, and then he does that and becomes 1-2-3 kid. And when him and Kane were a tag team, that's the only 2 times he's ever been relevant, in my opinion.
Yeah, well,
I don't like. Was he good? Maybe, but like I never saw the appeal to him. Really, I never have.
I guess no appeal in DX either as X-Pac. So
no. He was 6 in NWO. Like
he likes changing names a lot. He had a lot of monikers.
I make fun of Kevin Nash for riding people's coattails. Like I've literally done that on We Talk Wrestling. Sean Waltman was like easily the greatest riding coattails person. Like he must have just been really cool to party with. That's all I'm saying. Because like.
That's why they kept him.
I don't understand why they kept him. Like there was other luchadors or light heavyweights at that time that were 10 times better. So I just don't. I'm not saying it was bad because he just never appealed to me. That's it. Because once again, I'm not knocking on somebody else that enjoyed him. Like I don't want that to be known. Not my guy. That's all.
That's all right. You know. It is what it is. I mean,
you can jump on the bandwagon of me hating Jeff Hardy. That's fine because Jeff Hardy's garbage. But like, I'll give Sean Waltman a pass for at least being relevant at 2 times in his career.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Well, wanted to touch on this with saying that wish we go live 3 times a week. You know, with our schedules we can't. But here's what you can do, though. Our entire library is on YouTube. I'm sure our videos are on Facebook. You can go back and look at all of our views. We encourage all of you, if you want to go back and look at previous, Tyler Cooley actually did. And look back at our archive. So, I mean, we got an archive. You can go back and look. It's free. Go and check it out.
Go back, share it. Be like, oh, this one's cool. Watch this one, guy. Like, come on. Help a brother out. Scratch our back. We'll scratch yours.
there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, we just started doing like fan things and going out into the so we got if a fan comes up and goes, hey, I'm scratching your back, you need to scratch mine now, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, you got this.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
GQ, get on it.
By the way, thanks a lot, because I didn't know we were going with that story. When you say the words adult activity, you got me clenching a little bit. I'm like, what are you about ready to say?
I was keeping it PG, God.
Thank you.
I'm not stoogy.
I'm just saying, man.
If all honesty, like even as I've gotten older, right, the best jokes are innuendo jokes. I don't care what anyone says. Like if you can make a joke and it goes, that's a good joke.
Well, I was gonna say if you're gonna get a little nasty, I was about ready to go off. Oh my goodness, and say
how was he?
Oh no!
Don't do it. All right, it would be a
bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I don't even know my keyboard. I don't even know my board anymore. Oh, hey, I'll tell you what. We'll do this here. We've actually got some upcoming shows here. For the next upcoming few weeks. So check these out around the area, and we're going to be back here to kind of break things down here, and also talk about some other stuff. Hey, we do have golden memes this week, so make sure for those who like watching those. Thanks a lot, Glenn. Appreciate that. Yeah, make sure for those who like to watch those golden memes and everything else, we got a nice entertaining stack here for you this week. So, oh my lord, when did he wear green?
Didn't
he when he was like with DX with that Tory chick or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, he did for like a split second, I think it was. But like,
I think there's another subject. I think there's another point counterpoint.
I thought it was like a joke at one point because I thought they redid his thing as like that he was going green.
Oh my god, my gears are turning, but that's for later. But hey, go and check out these shows here. We'll be back here in about 2.5 minutes here, and we'll get right into our heart of our episode for the evening. So stick around. We'll be right back.
I just popped my jaw.
Check out these great shows and appearances coming to a city near you. IWA Productions returns to Mount Vernon, Illinois to help raise funds for the Children's Miracle Network on Saturday, May 27th at the IWA Arena located at 521 Perkins Street. All champions will be in action, including a tag team championship unification match. Door tickets are $12 for front row, $7 for general admission. Doors open at 6 and bell time is at 7. Visit IWA Productions on Facebook for more information. Saturday, May 27th, New Breed Wrestling is at the Liberty Park Convention Hall in Sedalia, Missouri. Meet and greet starts at 5 p.m. Bell time is at 6. General admission tickets are $13. VIP tickets are $25. Get your tickets in advance at Walter's Barbershop and visit Facebook.com/NewBreedMo for more information on this event. Saturday, June 3rd, SICW presents a wrestling fundraiser for wounded Police Sergeant Pat Carrier at the Belclair Fairgrounds in Belleville, Illinois. Special attraction match already signed is the Battle Behind Bars as Flash Flanagan faces off against the Purple Haze, Andrew Anderson with Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan in his corner. Doors open at 6, bell time is at 7. Visit SICW.org to get your tickets in advance for this special event. Illinois Elite Wrestling returns back to the Granite City Elks Lodge as they present Torn in 2 on Saturday, June 3rd. Doors open at 5 p.m. with a bell time of 6. Door ticket prices are $15 for adults, $5 for kids. Kids 5 and under are free. To get your tickets in advance, visit IllinoisEliteWrestling.ticketleap.com. World Elite Wrestling presents Gold Rush on Saturday, June 3rd at the Harley Race Arena in Troy, Missouri, where WLW Heavyweight Champion Superstar Steve defends his title against Billy the Kid. Adult tickets are $20. Kids tickets are $5. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time is at 7. For more information, visit HarleyRace.com. Tri-States Wrestling presents the Free Will Donation Benefit Show for the Mooresville Betterment on Thursday, June 8th in Mooresville, Missouri. This is an outdoor event, so you must bring your own chairs. Concession stands will be available on site. Bell time is at 7 p.m. The TSW Heavyweight Champion, the Iceman, is scheduled to defend his title. Visit TriStatesWrestling.com for more information on this event. Friday, June 9th, St. Louis Anarchy presents Giant Smoke Eyes Open at the House of Anarchy in Alton, Illinois, located at 405 East 4th Street. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a pre-event party and main card gets underway at 7 p.m. For more information on this event and to get your tickets in advance, visit STLanarchy.com. Saturday, June 10th, Mid-States Wrestling presents their 21st anniversary show located at the Fairgrounds Indoor Building in Harrison, Arkansas. All the action on this huge card starts with a bell time of 7 p.m. Visit MSWTickets.com or call 858-848-SLAM to get your tickets in advance. Remember, fans, without you, there is no wrestling. Make sure you visit these shows and support your local promotion today. All right, man. We got a lot of action, like I said, even just around the Midwest
many great
here.
posters.
Just a lot of shows. That's, I guess, for the upcoming, 3 weeks?
Big shout out to my guy Burt Candy out there doing his pose. Yeah. Burt Candy, you get ready, man. That guy is very, very unique for his size and style and character. He's going to be a good one to watch for the future going forward. He's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I've definitely I have heard some reports on Burt Candy. So
he comes into, dude. Once he gets his character developed, he's gonna be one to watch. Like, I'm happy to see him doing good. All those, all of them from that group, and that group's a good group of people, and I can't wait to see them succeed and win, because I truly believe that group is gonna be doing some good things.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, he's getting around a few promotions here with New Breed and of course TSW, Tri-States. So so he's making his rounds here. So I'm sure he'll probably be floating around closer, maybe into Illinois or definitely probably.
I can't wait. Oh, that guy's awesome. Fun people. They were great posters, though.
Yeah.
Poster games on point.
Let's jump right into our heart of the show here tonight here with our AEW Double or Nothing preview. How about this? So we're looking at this card here. So it's pretty much just going to be a stacked card.
My bad.
I don't know. First off, the 6-man tag with Ethan Page and the Guns against the Hardy Party. So if the Hardy Party wins, Matt Hardy will own Ethan Page's contract.
Yeah.
So
we already know the answer. The Hardy Party goes over, hoops and hollers. It's wrong because Ethan Page is getting robbed. Ethan Page should be doing so much more than what he's doing, and I am disappointed in that.
Wow.
That dude's one of my favorite wrestlers in today's group. Like, I respect his decision and stuff, and he's doing great work there. And I love seeing him with the Guns. I was actually enjoying him and Matt Hardy together. I'm not gonna lie, like that little group at first when they were trying to win each other over was fun, but I don't know. Yeah. It lost me. But then again, it lost me because there's somebody else involved now that I don't care about.
Yeah, with the Hardy party. Right. Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me twice about that. So,
out of all this, though, too, you got to give some props because I'm actually not a super fan of AEW. AEW is like one of the last shows that I watch, through the week of wrestling. And it's just because like storylines for me just don't make sense. It doesn't compute. It doesn't characters, all that kind of stuff. Like it's not there. Great wrestling. I want the icing now, guys. Put the icing on top and bring it all together. But the one issue, like, I forgot where I was going with that. No, what I was going to say is I remember now. Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn. My bad. So Austin and Colton, they've come a long way, dude. I'm actually like, when they first put the titles on them, I'm like, really? Those guys, you're going to take them off of the Acclaim and put them on Austin and Colton? Like, why?
Right.
But I'm actually pretty hip on Austin and Colton right now. They're doing great things, and I kind of like their character development. So like, that's a good positive. That's a great positive. But I just don't get some of their booking decisions.
No, I don't get it either. I mean, of course, I can't relate to the Acclaimed either, but that's just me. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not jiggy. I don't know what the hell.
You want to scissor me, Daddy?
No, I do not. I don't scissor either. So. You won't catch me doing that, man. Good evening, Herb. Is going right in on that.
I can't get that on my head now.
Get it out.
I actually think I'm a huge fan of Anthony Boeing. Actually, I said that right. I think he's very, very skilled in the ring and very enjoyable. So that's kind of the way I look at him. The mic dudes, the sugar on top, like, but they're fun to talk, like, listen to, and they're fun to watch. Actually, I enjoy them.
Yeah. What about the 21-man blackjack battle royal for the AEW International Championship with Orange Cassidy going in as the defending champion? So basically, he's defending his title in a battle royal.
Yeah, yeah. So this is one of the few storylines that I actually like in AEW, but I'm also a huge fan of Orange Cassidy. Okay, so he's like the super underdog fight champion. Basically, he'll fight anybody kind of thing. So he's fought everybody, and he just keeps winning. And he's doing the international championship or whatever it's called now, because they changed it. But he fights everybody. So like, everybody was trying to get a fight with him, and he's like, just tell Tony Khan. So like 20 people went to Tony Khan, and he's like, well, we're in Vegas. I'll be the 21 blackjack. And then he made the match, basically. It was goofy how they got there. Once again, it's goofy how they got there. But I actually enjoy his character a little bit just because of how it is, the lacrosome and all that stuff. But he's still really good in the ring and really fun to watch. But I really hope Powerhouse Hobbs destroys this and takes this title. So that's my prediction and wish.
Yeah, I would more than likely predict he's had it for a good while. I'm probably I don't see him coming out as champion at this one. So there's definitely going to be a new international champion,
Powerhouse Hobbs.
So he's calling it now. The unsanctioned match with Adam Cole and Chris Jericho. So, I don't know. I mean, a lot of these guys they don't work enough. I mean, I guess because they don't get a chance to do so. But with Chris Jericho, I mean, and Adam Cole, I mean, I would imagine they would be able to put on a hell of a match. I mean, with
Dude,
Jericho,
Jericho and Roderick Strong. This week? I think it was had a false count ever match, and they put on a clinic until like Adam Cole interfered at the end and helped Roddy win. But like they were doing really good. Like it was a really fun match. And but once again, it's just something like they just don't have.
It's like why, No,
they've done a decent job of building to a storyline for this one. So they really did. Where like Adam Cole came back after his little eye surgery and stuff. And his issues, so like his issue, I think it was eye surgery, I'm not mistaken. But whatever he was on the shelf for, he came back from that, and then the whole premise of the storyline was that Adam Cole celebrated for too long after his victory over Danny Garcia. Okay. And Chris Jericho didn't like that, so Chris Jericho then does that later, and then And then there was memes about how Adam Cole became Keith Lee's lackey in another company because there was rumors of him becoming Keith Lee's mouthpiece in the other company. So that was funny. but like that's what it's all based off of. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And then Chris Jericho did some crappy stuff to Britt Baker, and like boom, 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 boom. Now Cole wants to take his head off and stuff. And we rebuilt. What I think they're rebuilding is the Undisputed Era, but not, under that moniker. But
right.
Does Bobby Fish actually come back? Because didn't Bobby Fish get released like a year ago? So like,
he did.
And then
he got released because he was trying to bring he was trying to get an inside bid back to get into WWE.
Yeah,
he was trying to convince the others to come back
to jump shit back.
And AEW was like, nah, sorry, bro.
Bobby
can't have that.
Fly dog.
Yeah.
But, I'm not a huge Adam Cole fan, so, and never really have been. He falls in the moniker of Shawn Michaels to me. Like, I respect the work, just wasn't my guy. Like, I can watch their matches. I enjoy their matches. And then Jericho, I'm sorry, you're starting to hit the wall, dude, for me. Like, it's almost time to put it. Like, I hate to say that because that's putting to bed an era for me as a kid. Because Chris Jericho is legitimately one of my favorite professional wrestlers to walk and lace boots up. Like, I would put him up there with some of the greats, and he was one of my favorites in WCW. So, like, the day he actually goes and retires, it's gonna suck. Like, just that plays into another one that we'll talk about here later.
And then, getting back to Adam Cole, though, just real quickly, I was just more of a fan of the Undisputed Era, period. I was just a fan of the faction. I wasn't really too thrilled. I mean, I was more an O'Reilly Fish type of fan.
O'Reilly's my favorite part of the group, too. Like, Kyle O'Reilly is the bomb. I don't know why we have not pulled the trigger on him being a true main event player. Not even main event. He can be mid card and just carry a. Because
he can carry himself mid card.
Hear my voice. You don't need to be top dog to be like living great. Like some of the best wrestlers, some of the greatest superstars were the guys that got to the middle ground, and they were the best. They were literally the best. They just didn't. They just happened to be in an era with dudes that were untouchable. Unfortunately.
Right. Exactly. Right. Exactly.
We talk more about Jake the Snake sometimes than we do Hulk Hogan. So like really put perspective together, guys. Like, am I wrong?
No,
like,
no, not at all.
Kyle O'Reilly's the dude.
What about for the So the TBS championship is next in our agenda with Jade Cargill defending against Taya Valkyrie. So it's a toss up here. I'm just gonna say if Taya wins, I'm not gonna be upset, But if Jade
I think it's
wins,
time.
I mean, it is kind of time though.
I think it's time, and a great woman to take the title from Jade. So like you can't be mad because she's one of the most Taya is one of the most like underrated females in wrestling today. Like she's jumped around, bounced around, never really stuck. Well, she stuck around in AAA pretty good. Like she was down there for a good time. But like, if you didn't watch that stuff, that's great stuff from her, by the way. Like,
oh yeah.
So like, I can't wait to see her really start to shine. And what a way for Jade to go out if that is the way. If not, I'm okay with Jade continuing. I love that woman. So she's literally one of my favorite parts of AEW.
Yeah, I mean, I see this match being quite entertaining to watch. And then we'll get into the other women's match here down the I guess down our list here. But what about this Anarchy in the Arena match between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite? Does it almost sound like it's going to be a cluster here to you?
Yeah, it's the whole arena. They use the whole arena. It's like the whole thing where what was it? The Elite drove down Sammy Guevara in the golf cart.
Yeah,
you remember that? That's what that match
I
is,
remember that. Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's just like free for all throughout the whole arena. Like I do know that. Yeah. I don't care about this. Like
the other thing I'm going to care about this is like if DraftKings puts some things on here to see if if John Moxley is going to bleed in under 2 minutes.
There will be blood.
Try to throw a bet on for that. See if he can win some money.
Those guys are all. Daniels and them all talk about being the wrestler, and like when I think the wrestler, like I'm not thinking just bare knuckle like beat down kind of stuff. Like that's not.
Yeah.
Like I want to watch the wrestling guys.
I know it. And first off, it's like it's the Elite. I'm sorry. I know Omega is a really good worker, but it's just like when you throw the Jacksons in the mix, and I'm not talking about Tito or Michael. I'm talking about freaking Nick and Matt. I mean, it's more entertaining if you get like Jermaine and Tito in there instead. But no, I'm just I don't know. It's going to be a match like, okay, who's going, it's like, I don't care who's going to win here. I don't see. It's like,
yeah, it's just,
how do you control it? Because if there's 8 guys that are just going across the arena fighting, are they going to have like 4 referees and who's going to keep track of what? That's, I mean, that's to me, it sounds like a cluster. If you're going to have 8 people just go out anywhere in the building, they're not all going to stay together at some point, and that's going to be a cluster.
I just really wish Cesaro or Claudio now. Again, Claudio was getting used better. Like one of my favorite guys that are currently going or that came out of like the indie darling, group, he was just one of the most stellar wrestlers, and I just don't think they're being used the correct way or in the correct manner.
Danielson does not need to be in the faction. Claudio does not need to be in the faction. And even Moxley does not need to be in the faction. So
who's Wheeler Yuta? I mean, even though I actually enjoy Wheeler Yuta.
I mean, they don't need to be in it. And why even carry it? Because Regal's not even there anymore. Why even carry that? So I don't know. It just seems that the whole Blackpool Combat Club pretty much lost its mystique whenever Regal had to leave, or when he did leave, and he took another position going back to WWE. Why even carry the group name anymore? I don't get it. I just rename it, rebrand it, do something. They should really kill this whole Blackpool Combat Club after Double or Nothing. Just leave it go.
I'm good with it.
I say the Elite. if I have my druthers, Elite goes over. I mean, I don't care either way, but find a way to kill this combat club. I'm not a big fan of it. So because there's no reason for it anymore.
No.
Uh so what the ladder match for the TNT championship with Wardlow defending against Christian Cage, of course, Arn Anderson and Wardlow's quarter, and that big old wrinkly Luchasaurus in Christian Cage's corner, which I just I don't get it still, but I guess
I love Luchasaurus.
I know.
But the stuff that he was doing in Mexico and stuff was cool. So like, it just hasn't. It seems like that kind of stuff works down there in that environment and makes a lot of sense. But like, for some reason, when you bring a character like that from that lucha libre style to the States, it doesn't translate very well at all. Like, it does not, for some reason, compute over here as well, or in ways. But I absolutely love Luchasaurus. So
This is go back to the Anarchy in the Arena. The
that's
Kevin
funny.
Doug camera cut match.
But I want Wardlow over
Oh, yeah.
because they never should have. They ruined him by steeping his first title reign
Yeah. Warlock, yeah.
or stunting. Sorry.
I was going to say Christian doesn't need to go over on that. In fact, Christian would probably be better somewhere else if he had a chance to go. Help out a buddy of his that he would get over more there. I'm sorry, he would. Heel or face over in WWE, he would be much better. So Warlock, yeah,
I still like what they're doing. It's just
yeah.
at
I
this,
mean,
at this
it is
late in the
entertaining.
game for them, or this at this stage of the game, not late, this stage of the game for them, I'd much rather see a reunion tour of Edge and Christian right now, and that's how they kind of go out on their shields, as the easily one of the greatest tag teams to ever be formed. Their single careers are both equally phenomenal, but when you think of those two guys, you truly think of what made them so much fun, and that was the tag team. It really was. Like, you can't think of one without thinking of the other. You really can't.
Yeah.
So, like, even when I think about Edge's great matches with John Cena or Edge's great matches with Eddie, Batista, even him and The Undertaker, I still think of the times that, like, him and Christian are together with the kazoos and stuff, and, like, the funny, quirky stuff, or them making fun of Kurt, like, that stuff was so much fun. So I want to see it again one last time in a good run of it. So,
And if you're going to come back and do like a little reunion, how about just another short season of the Edge and Christian show?
yes.
And give us about maybe 6 episodes. I'll be happy.
I want at least 10.
That was funny. I don't care.
Bring back Mick too as one of the revolving characters.
It could be possible.
Actually, can I just get a show of those three like going around to like stores and like gift shopping or something?
Oh yeah.
Like, think of those three doing like an antique run. They're like American Pickers, but wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that show would be fun. That show would be hilarious. I would totally watch it.
Find flea markets that has a booth with wrestling memorabilia
Oh,
in
dude,
different cities.
Oh,
Find
that'd be
out.
so good. That'd be so good. I would
That'd be
love
so good
that.
to kind of pick on. I was like, man, what are you doing with this? I'm like, what the heck is this?
We're writing products right now.
Oh my gosh. That's another idea too. We need to come up maybe some of the failed product items that wrestling wise that failed in the past, like the I don't know.
We need ice cream bars.
Well, we'll think of that. Yeah.
We still won our ice cream bars.
No, that was not. I'm sorry. That was not a failure. As the fat man telling you now, that was not a failure.
No,
okay?
It wasn't a failure. They were amazing. I'm saying
Yes.
it's a failure. They took them away.
Oh yeah, that I agree with.
All right, let's go to the next one because
yeah.
this one, like, people are going to be surprised maybe about this one. Some people, but it's the tag team match between FTR, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal with special guest ref Mark Briscoe.
Man,
so I have never been a Jeff Jarrett fan. Never cared for this guy ever. Like, I've always wanted to see this guy get his face punched in. Like, I think he's dumb, ugly, like everything. I am not a Jeff Jarrett fan. One bit. And it's more or less on the side of, like, when I was a kid, he was that scummy, dirty, bad guy, right? Like, and that's what I know. So, like, that's what I remember. And I just remember hating his guts when I was a kid. And I'm pretty sure my grandmother hated his guts too, if I'm not mistaken. But, like, we could not stand Jeff Jarrett, right? Flip the coin, his tag team partner, Jay Lethal, was literally one of the reasons I tuned in every week to Impact Wrestling or TNA. At the time, like, Jay Lethal was so cool to me that I watched all the time. These two together, besides the fact that now we got to see Karen Jarrett, sorry, again too.
Yeah, won't you piss Jeff off even more?
It's another thing I don't like. Like, why is she back on TV? but these two together, which Sanjay has been one of the best things in AEW, and it upsets me. And their feud with FTR has been so beautifully done, showing why Tony Khan should have got his head out of his butt a long time ago and put the true champion titles on the true tag team of that company. And finally they did, but, like, it should have been done a long time ago. FTR is hot. You love FTR. I love FTR. Like, why is FTR not being pushed down our throats in a good way?
Right.
Blows my mind. But these two teams have done so well that I don't know who wins, but either way, I think I'm going to be happy because for the first time in his career, I think Jeff Jarrett is gold. Because him and Jay Lethal together, they have, like, that scummy, stupid 90s lawyer, like, sitcom thing going on. Like, and it's beautiful. Like, Boss Hogg is the perfect, like, that is every time I see Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett together, that's what I think about is Boss Hogg. And it's beautiful, and I love it.
Short, scuzzy white man in a white suit from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, they do so well at just being that.
Wow.
I want to see them win the title just to see them lose the title and see if Jeff Jarrett, like, starts crying in the ring and stuff. Because I'm a fan of a good crybaby gimmick, and I think Christian's best single gimmick was when he was doing the crybaby gimmick and he was crying in the ring, pouting, moaning. Chris Jericho did an amazing one back in WCW where he had a crybaby gimmick and, like, was doing that and losing and all that stuff. Like, it can be done and done right. And Jeff Jarrett, I mean, he fits the bill in my opinion, and I want to see him be that character. And because it also feels like for the first time he's having actually fun.
Yeah. Like,
he's enjoying just being the wrestler because, you know, Jeff Jarrett's always been in the background, the booker too, and had that, you know, so, like, it really feels like he's disconnected from there and he's just the wrestler and he's actually just having fun. So I'm respecting that. So Jared, keep doing. I hope you make me a fan of you for good. And I go back and, like, okay, maybe he wasn't too big of a tool. Like, but from now on, I hope he gets punched in too.
Also, I don't know if it was reported through We Talk Wrestling, but I saw it because I got so many wrestling pages that I follow and I keep up on. But apparently, about a week and a half ago, Jay Lethal did file for a trademark for Black Machismo. Yeah, so I think it was May 11th. He actually submitted a trademark for Black Machismo. Now, whether if something will be in the works after this is all done with him and Jarrett, and he breaks out of this, and he can go, if he can bring that gimmick back, that
Oh my
will be
god.
gold
Oh
in
my god,
itself.
that gimmick was the bomb. Him and Austin Creed together as a tag team for a small bit that they were tiny. That could have been one of the greatest tag teams because them guys. I think Austin Creed is or Xavier Woods. If you did not
Yeah,
watch his
right.
career, guys, like his career go forward, I think he's one of hands down like him and Chad Gable both pure underrated potential talent. Like they're like that. We need to harness this kind of thing. Like when you look at a young kid and you're like, why are we? They just get the business, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that would be awesome
Oh
if we
yeah,
see that gimmick again.
I would love the Black Machismo gimmick back. Love it. Oh my god, he was so. One of my favorite bits still with him is when him and Ric Flair were doing the woo off on
Oh
the
yeah,
stage.
yes. Oh yeah,
Woo, woo, woo.
that
Jay
that
Lethal's
yeah that
amazing.
was awesome.
Jay Lethal is amazing. So
Oh my gosh, the so the women's world championship is what we got next on our agenda with Jamie Hayter defending against Tony Storm.
I used to crap on Tony Storm.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Tony Storm, but I love the Outcast.
yeah,
I love the whole premise behind it. I love this whole build towards Jamie and her again. I hope Jamie goes over because I'm absolutely in love with Jamie Hayter and she's phenomenal talent and I love seeing her at the helm and doing this good. Um, but who knows? They might put the belt back on Tony, but I think it's going to be a good match. I still can't get past how Tony stands. That's what it is. It's just the. It's just I don't know.
basically everything that you said. I'm a huge Jamie Hayter fan myself.
Yeah, Jamie all
Um,
the way.
yeah, I know. I just yeah, I was just been a big fan ever since she's came in, and hoping that she would at least somehow get elevated. And now she's there, and she needs to stay up there for a while. So
I think this match would have been better suited with Paige or Sarah, sure,
Soraya, whatever.
Saraya, um, going into it. But like I said, this is one of the few storylines that actually makes sense and actually has you hooked. Like, is these women doing what they're doing? So, hats off, ladies. Keep doing it. Tony's, like I said, I'm not a fan of Tony Storm, so hats off because you're doing your job beautifully and you're making me invested in the feud, all that kind of stuff. So, like, I'm sold on you right now. Let's keep going there because you guys are doing. Like, this is what I'd like to see for the female industry. Like, I really do. Like, I want to see these awesome feuds happening. And I think AEW is really stepping up their game in the women's department area with storylines and compelling characters, all that kind of stuff that make me want to watch these women. And it's just time for the men up there to do it. I mean, there's decent stuff, but, like, it just doesn't flow very well. I mean, we'll talk about WWE's failures, too, here soon.
Right, exactly. Right. But main event, it's a four-way match with MJF defending his title against Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, and Darby Allin. Um,
I love this premise. Okay? I love the idea of this match. But this match needs to happen 5 years from now. No, seriously. Like, it doesn't make sense right now. Because these are the 4 pillars of for them, or whatever they want to say. I don't understand how Jungle Boy is a pillar. The guy cannot hold a mic for dog doo-doo. Like, he does decent in the ring. He's a decent character. I know why JR kept calling him Jack Perry. Like, I get it. Because the Jungle Boy thing, there was nothing to go off of. There's nothing to make him stand out from that. So, like, people were mad at JR for pointing out things. Like, I get it, Jungle Boy. And if you happen to see this and be like, what's this guy know? I just get it. I really do, because there was nothing to go off of you. You don't have anything. You have no charisma, dude. Like, we need to do something, because you have the look of what could be a star. You have the moves in the ring as to be a star, but you just a pretty boy with no charisma, brother. That's it. Like, I don't get it at all. Like, besides that, Jungle Boy just doesn't do it for me. I love him in the ring. In the match, like, when he's wrestling, it's beautiful, but he needs to either have a mouthpiece with him or he needs to learn to talk on the mic fast, because it's going to benefit him greatly.
Right. Yep. You've got to do it. I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, if someone can't do it, then that's what managers are there for. Have them talk for you. But, when do you see when do you see pretty much a face manager getting somebody over?
And I mean, Darby's the same way. Darby's the same way for me. Just you're like the it's like the emo kid that cries wolf, like, kind of thing. Like, it just doesn't like I don't know how else to put it, man. Like, because we know what you are. Like, we get it.
The emo kid.
But, like, what? Where do you go with the character? There's no coming. Does he get happy? Like, what? Where goes with the character? Sammy Guevara is the best choice in this match besides MJF right now. I'm sorry. Like, Sammy Guevara could actually win the title. I'd be like, oh, really? Because, like, Sammy has decent charisma, even though I want to see him get his face punched in every day, because I can't stand him, because that's how good he is as a bad guy for me. Like, he has that face you want to punch, and I respect that, because he makes you feel that. But he's talented in the ring. He's fun to watch. He can hold his mic work very well with some of the bigger guys in AEW. Now, he's still not put together, but he still holds his own on the mic. So, like, he's the best put together one of the 3 besides MJF, because MJF is MJF. I still don't think he's the best mic worker in the business right now, because he relies on cursing and stuff. You want to call yourself the best? Don't rely on the shock. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I don't know. If I had to go a different way with this, I would definitely go with Sammy trying to get this. If there would have to be a new champion,
really?
But I don't think there's going to be a new champion.
MJF's taking the belt.
Yeah. I don't think so. Yeah. So that happens this Sunday. Of course, that'll be on Fight TV. That'll probably be on some other outlets, but for those who want to watch it, and then of course we may be airing an episode of ours during the middle of their pay-per-view. So I don't know. But what won't be interrupting us this coming week is a pay-per-view that happens on Saturday, once again during the day. Once again, this is Night of Champions preview here. We're going to go and jump right into here. So
I'm not even mad that WWE does this.
Yeah. I still think it's some type of agreement that they had. So.
Oh, facts.
Oh my. So looking at this list here, and I'm kind of wondering how long this thing's supposed to be, because there's really only 5 matches announced, but there's one that I think is going to happen, which is the fourth one that we had on the list. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, but we'll talk about that here shortly. Um, the Raw Women's Championship with Bianca Belair versus Asuka. So you know what? I haven't really watched SmackDown yet. I haven't watched, of course, Raw's tomorrow. Why do you have these women that are on different shows holding the different belts? I mean, it's not like so you're holding the Raw title on SmackDown and vice versa, but the SmackDown title being held on Raw. So can we just do an exchange and just get it over with, or are you? It almost sounds like there's still trying to do some cross brand promoting somehow, even though they just had a draft. I don't
I
know.
think we're about to see cross brand work happening, but
And we just had the draft win, like not even a month ago. So what's the point? I don't get it.
Triple
Uh,
H gave us some false
it's
hopes
it's
and
too damn late.
promises.
It's too damn late to get upset. I don't get it. Who writes this? Never mind. I'm not. I'm not gonna.
Like I said, they're going to see that we're not going to be nice to both groups. Like,
It's like, gosh. That's what I'm just saying. You should have just unified. There should just be a title unification match for real, and then just flop between brands.
I mean,
And
for me, and this is 100%, WWE should never made the men's world title. Okay, the new one.
I totally agree.
They should have just joined the two titles, made a new title for the men, and then had the secondary titles on the shows being, done. The main title was on on the pay per view. Do the same thing for the women's. Give them both secondary titles and one main female title. Call it a day. And then have one tag team titles for both shows for both women and men, and both men and women. One tag team. Done. And then NXT have their own stuff. And you would have had a perfect way to balance it. Had your marquee people being done at a marquee event. It would have flowed better. I don't get why they made this title. I don't understand it. But it is what it is. I don't get paid to know that much. So
Yeah. So anyway, you got Bianca Belair from SmackDown holding the red title, going against.
I hope Asuka takes it finally.
If anybody's going to do it, I would imagine Asuka would be the one taking it. So, trying to think what major match Asuka had that she actually did not succeed on, or I don't know. I thought she had a different title match here.
She
too.
wrestled at WrestleMania and lost to Bianca, and then they kept the feud basically going. Yeah, they kept the feud going. Asuka finally made a full flip, I guess, supposedly. She fully went 360, beat her up and stuff, and then now led to this one.
Okay. I got it.
And I say Asuka takes it.
Yeah, Bianca's she's had for a good while,
Yeah, I mean, and WWE doesn't want the fans to sour on her, and it sounded like recently the fans were kind of.
Yeah, and also with Asuka coming back with bringing some of her old gimmick style back into what she's doing now, what she actually was with Kana.
Yeah,
and mixing that in is just the way that she is now. I mean, I could have swore that she was going to take it at WrestleMania, but
yeah. I mean, you were pumped on that idea.
Yeah, and then
this next one is the one that I like.
Lay it on us.
This is to me potentially the show stealer, and I hope it does. I don't think the guy's going to go over, but I'm happy to see him finally in something like this, and that is Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. I am a big fan of both of these gentlemen. I think Mustafa Ali has gotten the raw end of the stick on certain ideas and gimmicks that were thrown down the pipeline. I think he finally has something that he can truly sink his teeth in and make his own as a character. And him losing to Gunther in a way of just like greatness where he like put everything on the line and he can be like, I almost did that and like stay in that, that that positive Ali, that state that he's doing, or the positive. Yeah, I tried to say that right, but I think this could be match of the night right here. Literally, Gunther wins. There's no reason to take the title off Gunther yet. There's no reason to disrupt the thing, but I think this is going to be the match that hopefully shows that Mustafa Ali is a player for a good mid card, workhorse guy. Potentially, hopefully, one day moving farther up the ranks. But I'm happy to see Mustafa Ali at the table dining. So,
Yeah, Mustafa, I know can put on a heck of a match, especially with Gunther, or Gunther, whatever.
Gunther.
But I know they're going to be putting on a decent match for this. Gunther does retain. In fact, I would take one step further to say that if you think about it, we've been seeing within the last, I don't know, but I guess within the last 8 years, 7 years, we've been seeing history repeating it, history remaking itself. I will not be disappointed if Gunther surpasses the Honky Tonk Man for a reign.
I'm down
I
with
won't
that.
be disappointed.
No. If there's anyone doing it, what a perfect candidate. What a perfect candidate.
I mean, the man's already got the Royal Rumble record.
Do you think there's potential rumor is true with Gunther and them? So
I haven't heard any rumors.
So you haven't seen it on We Talk Wrestling. I think it was me or Isaac. Shout out to Isaac there. But one of us posted a thing that WWE has been throwing around the idea of putting, I'm going to butcher his name, the one Dragunov.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Dragunov?
Right.
In Imperium.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Dude. I actually personally love the idea. But at the same time, like, do you think they'd pull something like that here?
And Night of Champions, I don't see a reason to do it. Gunther doesn't really need that much of assistance with Mustafa Ali. No disrespect, but dude is large. He's got a hard chop. I mean, he's tough as nails.
I love that he always sends the guys to the back and just does it himself.
Yeah. So there's no reason for it. I mean, to bring him maybe down the road.
I love that idea, though.
Yeah. Maybe down the road, but I don't see that happening Night of Champions, though. So
okay. So neither do I, really. I'm just throwing it out there. Got to throw the bones, because like I love the what if factors. Like,
oh yeah, of course.
I'm a big fan of that. I believe Gunther goes over and just dominates it and does great. So
absolutely. So now let's talk about the street fight. Apparently, it's labeled as a street fight with Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar.
I have not seen that,
but Cody barely got the win at Backlash. I think Brock is taking this one myself.
I'm going to actually go the other way.
You are?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're going to give it to Cody, and Cody's going to somehow figure out how to defeat the Beast again.
That is true because, where does it go from here?
I mean, because, what does it do for Brock? All this is doing is building Cody up more.
Yeah. Well, Brock came back and he's signing for revenge. It's all about personal revenge, but is that really going to get over down the road? So
what's the personal revenge? Has he told us?
No. I mean, the guy got lucky. The man had his.
Oh yeah. Okay, you're talking about
Mora.
The second fight. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So he got his shoulders pinned to the mat without him thinking about it, Cody held him down for 3, and he got out. So it's like,
Right.
hey, I got my win. I'm out.
Right.
Brock was like, you son of a.
Yeah. I feel like, and I guess I'm playing into the idea and the premise that they're potentially going to do something like they did with Seth, where he did a 3-peat win.
Yeah.
So like I could see them doing something like that with Brock potentially, but at the same time, I don't know. Like I feel like Cody wins because I don't understand where you go with Brock wins.
Right.
Now does Cody come back for revenge? Like what's the point? Like,
Right. Oh,
I mean, I think these guys are going to put on a good match and it's going to be fun, but
right.
I don't understand how you go for the ending. That's it.
Right.
What the heck? My TV, my screen just went. Oh, there he goes. I bet my screen just went off.
It's been, now, I've put this on our card because, I mean, both of these ladies are going to be in the building tomorrow night on Raw. And if this is not booked, then it's foolish. But
I don't care.
Becky Lynch trying to get her revenge against Trish Stratus. So, I don't know. I'm starting to like the old Trish, the old heel Trish coming back, and in fact, more dominant because of how she's selling the of how all the women should be thanking her for making the movement instead of this whole evolution thing, because she was the evolution before an evolution was thought of, after she was gone after the fact. So,
I mean, the whole thing finally makes sense. Like,
yeah,
like I still don't like how they built to this moment at all, but it makes sense. It's going in a decent direction. The storyline's finally there. I just don't care about it. I just don't. Like, I'm not invested in it.
oh,
I hope they sell me on it more. I think the beginning part was just so bad for me. I'm not enjoying this. Is what it is.
oh, I get you. Yeah, but I think it would not really make sense in this that if Trish does not win. So, but I'm still picking Trish to beat Becky on this one.
Wouldn't it make more sense for Trish to win right now?
It would make more sense for Trish to
Okay.
win right now.
Like, because the story goes on and then progresses, and because I mean, there was rumors last year or so that she was supposed to be coming back for a good stint.
And I think we're in it right now.
Are we seeing it? Is that what's happening? Because that means
Yeah,
there was rumors because she wanted to face people like Charlotte and face Becky and several other people. So like, it's cool to see this happening.
yeah.
I still would like to see another women's champion come back potentially and do something then if that's the case. And that's the true innovator of females and Medusa. That's what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say, oh no, someone's a Nia Jax fan.
Oh no. I mean, bring me Awesome Kong, bring me Jazz back for a little bit, no. Although all knocks to Nia Jax because she's supposedly getting back in the ring and been working out, dropped some weight and stuff. I'm proud of her. Keep going. If you do come back and you come back clean and with a clean slate and a better attitude, I'll totally be happy about that and be cool because there's potential there. I'll say it right now, and you guys can hear it right now because this is a fact. Okay, when she was in NXT, I was starting to come around to her as a character and potential placeholder for like that big Amazon woman destroying things, right? Awesome Kong's all like China, etc. But then what they did with her on the main roster just blew it for me, and I'm like, okay, now you're just back to garbage, and she was doing the botches, all that kind of stuff, and I was just like, no, thank you. But I'd be happy if she comes back and does it right. I'm cool with it. I'm all people People deserve second chances. So Nia Jax, if you can do it, I got a Omos figure. So I'll get a Nia Jax figure too if you come back and do it right.
Yeah. So, I mean, if she's not going to be as sloppy as she was in the Rumble, then
Yeah, it's just that's what it was. She never could do something consistent,
right.
and
So she's got to keep at it.
yeah, her highlight to her career is my hole.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah,
nothing.
right, yeah.
Really? God dang it, Ruby!
I don't even have that sound on my board right now.
My hole.
My hole.
I swear we're going like this. Like,
oh my god!
I did. Okay, I did enjoy that feud with her and Lana, where she's just putting Lana through tables. Like, if they could have actually turned that around and made Lana a freaking star and made Nia Jax out of that, that'd have been cool, because that was a really cool thing there for a while. Like, at first I was like, really? They're just going to keep doing this to Lana? And then, like, they just kept doing it. I'm like, all right, Lana's tough. Like, come on. Like, I really, truly got behind Lana and wanted to see Lana take Nia Jax out. Like, and then nothing really happened of it. I was really disappointed.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Well, see, she comes back. Like I said, who knows what happens? Maybe they'll let her back.
What do you think of Lana being at Backlash as a fan? Did you see those?
Yeah, I did see the pictures of that. That's kind of.
I respect it, Lana. I respect it. I'm so for it. Like, that made me happy. Made me more of a Lana fan, because she's still a fan.
No, of course. She was part of the show, and then to sit in the audience to enjoy the show. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's got to take something.
Respect.
Yeah. I'm just kind of wondering, do we? Will she ever be back? I don't know. So, tell on that one.
I kind of hope so. You put her with Sonya Deville and
Chelsea. Oh my
Chelsea Green, and make that like a trio of a mom group kind of thing, or like the Karens of the world. Dude, you have something there. Lana has a place in wrestling, and I want to see her back. And she has beautiful legs.
I think I had to call that faction Nails on the Chalkboard, because that's
dude.
probably.
Who would you rather have, Lana or that redhead chick that came back and then left again?
Which redhead chick?
The one redhead chick. Dang it!
You're not talking about Isla Dawn, are you?
No. I would never. No.
I forgot what
she was Fandango's dancer at one time.
Oh, Summer Rae. Oh
no, not Summer Rae. Not Summer Rae. The other one. Dang it! Why can't I think of her name?
I can't remember. Yeah, because he's been through a couple of.
She came when she came back this last time. Her and Piper Neville were.
Oh, Piper Neville. Okay.
Eva Menendez or whatever.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, I know what you mean.
Say her name, Dan.
Is it Eva Marie?
Eva, sure, whatever. I don't know. That sounds right. Eva Marie sounds really right.
Oh God, no.
Her or Lana, like, come on, because like they're two supposedly the worst. Like,
I think it was Eva Marie.
Lana all day. Lana was gold, and people just like Alicia Fox. Everybody sneezed on Alicia Fox too. That's a shout out to Guido.
I love Alicia Fox. I love Alicia Fox. I don't care anybody else. I love Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox was amazing, and the TV does not do her any justice on how freaking gorgeous of a woman she is.
No. I agree there. I agree there.
We saw her live, and I was like, holy cow, Alicia Fox is dang.
Yeah. So if you tell me to choose between either Lana or Eva Marie, really, I would just like to flip the coin and then just walk away, because I don't care where it lands.
I dislike you right now.
No, I guess Lana, because Eva Marie, I couldn't really.
Right now, you've heard it here. I am looking for a Lana action figure to add to the collection.
Lord.
Get a hold of me. Hold of me.
There you
DM,
go.
gift me. I don't care.
So should we talk about the
second
match
potential.
that's for the vacated third major men's singles title?
Did you say the third major men's?
Yeah, the third major men's title because
The consolation prize.
So all right. So back like what was it like 9 years ago or whatever when they had to unify the titles or whatever, there was the world heavyweight title where they still had the big gold, and then they had the WWE title, then they had the big one between Cena and Orton, and then I mean it was like one championship, and then they merged to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Then they'd run in the Universal title. And then now, eventually, these today, Roman has both those belts. So how are you reincarnating another world title? I don't get it. I am really not really too particularly fond of the push of this title, really at all. It really means nothing. Why are you gonna have? You know what? So it's Seth Rollins from Raw versus AJ Styles on SmackDown. So if there's no direction here on where this is heading, because and this is another thing I don't get it with writing, because I thought this was supposed to be for a exclusive title to be on Raw, but then they had a tournament between somebody from SmackDown and somebody from Raw, which I don't get. Why? I don't get it. What? That's why you can't give freaking all these kids crayons to draw your freaking storylines with. That's what it is. It's like, oh, let me draw this picture. Maybe this will look better. That's what it is.
I'm not hip on this whole idea either. I'm not hip on this whole premise. I think Seth Rollins and AJ Styles are going to give us arguably potentially a show-stealing match, 100%. These two are leaps and bounds better than anyone that is going right now when it comes to like just putting together a match. Like,
they're going to put on a clinic.
Yeah, when it comes to telling a story, like these two are Picassos of this art that is professional wrestling, and I can't wait to watch this match happen. But I don't like the idea of the title. I feel it's a consolation prize. I really do. And then the fact that, like you said, the booking, and I'm one of the guys that I look at the small details of things. So when I'm watching this stuff, and I know like these wrestlers go out, the wrestlers go out there and they have their own like little character and their own quirks that they do themselves, like that it's away from what supposedly gets said in the background and stuff. But when you have Roman Reigns, your world champion, like I understand that he's supposed to like look down on that title because he had, but it just doesn't look good for the new incarnation of something. It doesn't bode well. It doesn't play well. It does, especially when the man's holding two titles.
Yeah.
Especially if it's that case,
it's a third title.
Let Roman belt collect.
There was a meme of like how they were introducing new titles and how Roman was like winning them all, and they eventually had like 4 or 5 belts on him because Roman was just like winning them all. Oh my gosh, they should do that. So how about do this,
Doug? I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, man. It just doesn't. It's goofy. It's goofy. I agree with the whole like there should only be like 3 titles. At that.
Yeah.
I believe less is more.
Yes, absolutely. And like I said, to have 3 top main men's titles makes no sense to me. But WWE,
it's them showing that the Roman's titles are one title now. That's really what they're doing. Like,
Then make a new belt and get rid of the damn W's. God, get to
they're,
work.
they're on it. They're gonna make some other crappy looking thing. Like,
Well, they've got another crappy looking thing that they're gonna. I'm sorry, I don't like that new title anyway. That thing's butt ugly.
it's interesting. That's for sure.
It's like
I'm not hip on it.
It's like the Arkansas cousin of the freaking IC title. I don't like it either way. It's inbred. So,
Damn, Ruby.
it's ugly. I don't like it.
I mean, it's gonna be a clinic. It's gonna be fun. I just don't. Yeah, I'm not for this.
I'm not for it at all.
No. I want to see Seth Rollins beat Roman Reigns for the title. I want to see Jey Uso take the title. Like, I want the one title. Like,
how about this? Let's have AJ Styles go over. He goes to SmackDown, and so now all the main titles. There's 3 main titles on SmackDown, and then what is Raw left with? Nothing.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Let's see how WWE works himself out of that.
What's up, Dean?
Dean, what's going on, man?
No, it's at this point that's kind of what I want to happen. To be honest with you,
It really. I mean, this is almost like telegraphing. It's like, okay, I thought this was supposed to be a Raw exclusive title, but now you got Raw battling SmackDown.
Like, go ahead, just give it to Roman. At this point, I just don't care.
Okay,
I already see Gunther and Austin Theory as the real champions anyway. So, like, my favorite guys are the guys that are working their butts off down here. So I love Seth. I love all the guys. But no, I'm cool. Whatever. Just give it to Roman. Let Roman carry it.
Oh my god!
As long as Jey Uso takes all the belts from me, that's all that matters to me.
Oh my gosh! Now you're speaking as bloodline. So I believe. Go ahead and bring up what we got, because I believe that this match is going to be the main event.
So we are predicting that the main event will be the undisputed tag team champions on the line with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Roman and Solo Sikoa. Yeah.
I'm thinking of some ideas here of what could happen, but
in the match, Solo spikes Roman.
Do you see that?
I'm ready for the destruction of the bloodline and Roman to like somehow walk out clean, still the champions, and like the bloodline goes away, and then Jey Uso and his feud start. That's my and Solo's the key to it.
Yeah. So what I see here, obviously, you see here on the card that the Usos are not on this card, but they will be making the trip. So
they got cleared to fly.
You're not going to see a tag team title change here. If you're hoping for one, it's not gonna happen. Roman's not gonna have 4 belts. It's not gonna happen.
You know what? Screw it. Let it happen.
Yeah, why not? But I see Jimmy and Jay coming in and disqualifying, getting attacking Kevin and Sammy to make sure they get the win by disqualification, screwing over Roman and Solo, and then they're in the ring with the showdown, and it's going to get ugly. That's what I predict. Usos are going to screw them over.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on it, but I think Solo's the key, dude.
You think Solo's going to be spiking?
Solo's the key. Solo's spiking Roman. If the dissolve is really going to happen, we got to pull Solo away from the group too. It has to be a complete dissolving of the group. And I even want Solo to like turn on his brothers. Like, I want Solo to go off and be that Umaga-esque thing or whatever they're doing with him, because I'm loving what they're doing with him, and he has the potential to be great on his own. So, like, let's just make this crumble and everybody goes their own way, and I think we can make everybody smell like roses coming out of it.
It'd be interesting how this all unfolds. If something major's got to happen, you would think. With all
what if both brothers take one of the belts? I mean, dumber things have happened. I'm That's just a goofy joke, guys. Like, I'm not. Don't take me serious on that one.
Oh my gosh!
I think overall, out of the two shows, Night of Champions may squeak by as the better show. Both shows have great potentials. Both show has their faults that we dislike.
Of course,
but it's gonna be interesting. I want to see what happens. I think we get the start to the dissolve that is the bloodline.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing how my ending is going to work out better than your ending. So,
but the question, because we have very different endings. You have the more of the slow burn style, and mine's like let's go quick and hard, and then it'll cool. Like we could do it because there's a way to do like the like quick oh shit shock moment kind of thing, and then slow burn it still. I that's how I would go with this dissolvedness is pull that Band-Aid off, Samoan spike right to the throat.
Yeah, I'm the type of hold a long Bic lighter to a Duraflame log. Hopefully it catches on fire. you're the let's spray a bottle of Renonsol on a freaking stick and let's throw a box of matches on it.
Yeah, I'm totally the guy with the lighter fluid pretending to pee on the fire.
Right. Yeah, that's what you're doing.
I mean, this feud deserves something like that, in my opinion. In my wholesome opinion, I want that quick. Like they've done so well with the slow burn up to like the height of the story. Think about that like explosion, and then now we're back down here, and then the build back to like the actual end, like. I think it'd be really cool.
Damn.
Just Samoan Spike and Roman Reigns would be sweet. Because Solo has been so calm through this whole thing. Like, dude shoving his brothers on SmackDown. And Solo's just...
Yep.
Nothing. So, like, this man's been brewing on it. Like, it's his brothers. And then Jay and him had the little incident. Like, we're your brothers, man. What are you doing? Like... Think about it. They get in Solo's head. Solo then just kicks it, and you have the start of the dissolve. Roman comes at Solo on SmackDown. Like, what was that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Solo rolls out of the ring, just goes away. That's it. No big like aftermath. Roman's just laying in the ring. Kevin and them leave. Just Roman. Solo walks off. Like. Forget the Usos. Don't even bring the Usos into this right now. And then on SmackDown, they're like, oh, Solo, what'd you do? And then Roman comes in heated, bro. Like, you set that up. And Roman's the guy that can do it and set that up in the storyline arc in the match where him and Solo have a little friction. Right? And he's like, don't be like your brother. Don't disappoint me. And then Solo just click. And you know what'd be really cool? There's one person of the bloodline we have not talked about with that whole thing yet. Paul Heyman always turns on his clients.
Oh, right. Yeah,
he's the one that pulls the trigger with Solo, the thumbs up. And that's how Solo leaves the group. And then we can start the rest of the dissolve with the other ones. I'm telling you, man. There's something there. Or I should just be writing stories because I like my stuff.
Well, I'm just interested to see how this is all going to go down on Saturday, and then of course we'll see what Sunday goes with AEW, and but here's what I'm looking forward to here. Let's get into what we skipped the last week. We won't this week, so let's get it done. 24-karat magic in the air. There we go. It's Wrestling's Gold Memes, everybody. And got some entertaining ones here from you this week because we some of the superstars we've mentioned here already are in this week's memes. For instance, here, let's start off here with the Rainmaker himself. He says that Chris Jericho says Judas originated fans singing along to wrestling themes. Meanwhile, in ECW, where Jericho once wrestled.
Did he actually say that?
I think I had to find the piece where he said, but yeah, I've seen something where he said,
Okay,
yeah.
Chris, you're so delusional, man. We've been singing along with what? Like,
Dude, yeah.
well,
So,
Real American. Like, do I have to put Hulk Hogan out? Do I have to? Like, Ruby, tell me right now that you've never sang Real American when Hulk Hogan. I'm a real American. Fight for the rights of every man.
I don't know if I really sang the lyrics.
You never got pumped when Hogan came out and started singing this? Like, man.
Well, I just kept screaming because he kept calling for cheers in the crowd, you know?
Oh, man, I was that kid.
Hey, man.
When that song hit, dude, it hit hard.
I saw him many times when he came down to the old arena during his big run in the 80s, you know? I was there.
But yeah, ECW, they always sung Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Chris?
Sure. And what about even with No Sleep Till Brooklyn, with Nunzio coming out? I mean, a lot of those fans were singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Chris, wake up. Didn't you listen?
Chris. I thought you listened to the fans, Chris.
Or maybe Metallica doesn't count because he's in a rock band. I don't know.
Dude.
Let's
I like
get our
Fozzy,
next...
but Fozzy can't even touch Metallica.
You're right. They're a good band, but they're not going to touch Metallica for sales. So
for anything,
for anything. Oh man. Remember, Triple H didn't forget Cody. Hopefully you can finish that story.
He's got to do the sins now. Actually, that's actually kind of a really dope idea, but
yeah. I remember seeing that entrance too. I'm like, oh boy, we're taking shots already.
It'd be a really cool little like storyline thing where like Triple H comes back as an on-screen character, just as the authority role, because Triple H could still totally play an authority role character and get wrestlers over, I believe 100%.
Oh yeah.
He comes back and like at first like Cody and them don't get along because like the way the booking's going, all that kind of stuff. Well, then turns out that Cody is like Tripp's right hand man kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could possibly work.
It Triple H is a big fan of Dusty. Like it could play out. Like it could. There's something there. I love that idea that this potentially could be. It could actually be something if WWE wanted to pull the trigger on it.
All right, absolutely. And let's see what we got for our next one. Oh yeah, we're talking about Christian. Why is he getting this RKO to his own?
So, by the way, I thought this was like BS. I went back. It's true.
No, it's true.
He literally gets RKO'd in his own entrance video.
Yeah, it's like what? Why are we taking balls? I mean, why are you taking bumps in your own?
Only Christian. Only Christian, dude.
Oh my god. Oh, that's funny as hell. Oh, I got another good one here for you. Speaking of the man and that big gold, dads in the 70s trying to get these stations to work.
Did I send you that? Because I saw that and I immediately thought of you. Oh, that's so funny. I'm pretty sure we had that TV as a kid. I'm not going to lie.
Oh my gosh. Remember console TVs? My God, the days of the TV repairman.
Heavy as piss. Like
yeah. Oh yeah, but it's a deluxe 25-inch screen.
My parents used to use my Tonka toys to rearrange the furniture.
Really?
Yeah, they'd
Oh,
put
because
like
right.
because the
Dump
TV and
truck.
stuff will all be so heavy, like the old Tonka like dump trucks, the metal ones that
Yeah.
they'd sit my the entertainment center, everything on my Tonka trucks, move around the house, and then like drop it. that's that's how they would rearrange the house, and we used to rearrange the house so much. It was it was crazy, but yeah, old Rick made me remember that.
I know some people. I know some people who are moving around their furniture in their house for like every 2 weeks. I'm like,
What?
dude, that would drive me insane.
I
It's
mean,
like,
we just did ours, but like, dang.
just get that lady a fidget thing or whatever. Stop making her.
Feng shui, bro. Feng shui.
I wonder if that chop works on those TVs. But anyway,
They did. Don't tell me you did not side chop your TV, your tube TV. You've never like just
oh yeah,
like a good like you're gonna smack it on that booty. You're like, oh yeah, work TV.
I've seen people kick them.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I've seen people kick them too hard to where they caved in the cabinet. But
oh dang.
I think they were pretty.
I like the memes of Gunther getting ready to smack Bailey's booty. You seen that?
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
I know it was probably too risque for this one, but like,
oh no, yeah, I've seen the picture and I'm moving on. And
you can't.
Last one here for this one. Me too, fast worker here. Every time when the ice cream machine is broken at McDonald's.
I don't have a problem, but that's funny.
That's why this company is in this damn shape because of the BS like this. Because the ice cream machine don't work.
That's funny. Oh, Hogan.
Oh my gosh. That is all that we got here for your memes for the week. So, man, what a and that's from like Bash on the Beach 2000.
Yeah.
So I almost want to start off our counterpoint here. Is just with that is, I think I know the answer to this, but because why was 2000 such an odd year for major promotions? I mean, WCW was just trash.
I mean, that's when I left WCW because I was a WCW kid. So
yeah,
at like the when WWE was going through like the transition into Raw and the Attitude Era and stuff, the big front of portion of it, I didn't actually watch. It wasn't until later on down the road where like then I'm watching two TVs because I'm watching both shows and that kind of stuff. But then I definitely like make a jump after the finger poke of doom. After the finger poke of doom. And then WCW got the new set, right?
That new set was look. Horrible.
And they changed everything. And I hated everything about it. I wanted my old Nitro set back. I wanted the old, the way the arena looked then. And the finger poke of the doom literally, I think, was the final nail in the coffin of we let the kids run the daycare for too long. And things were falling apart. And it just became no fun to watch WCW anymore.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
It really didn't. And so I jumped to WWE.
Yeah, and even with that, and I still have to see if there is a green Kane suit for being part of DX or whatever. I don't know, because that was kind of strange too. WrestleMania 2000, that was probably like one of the worst WrestleManias around. That happened.
That was a terrible WrestleMania. I forgot how bad that one was.
Oh man, no, I mean that was bad, dude. That was bad. I mean, people really dog about WrestleMania 9, but that's another thing. But going back to WCW, I mean, some of those gimmicks, God, with like the Maestro and with like Berlin, they used to be Dust Wonder Kid, Alex Wright. It's like, what are you guys doing? Then of course, Booker T's favorite GI Bro coming out. It's like God. It's like what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah, the only thing that like came out of some of that was fun was Norman Smiley.
Oh my God. Yeah, and that whole hardcore.
The whole hardcore division, how like much of a joke it actually was. Like it was worse than the 24/7 title.
And one of the ugliest belts of all time came out of there too with the cruiserweight tag team title. If y'all remember that one, those belts were about as ugly
Dude,
as
those were stupid.
those were. Yeah, the whole cruiserweight tag. I was like a cruiserweight tag team champion. I was like, what? Oh, it's gonna be great. No, it's not. Go on. Next, please. So that to me that never got over. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So
let's talk-
back to Kane's green suit real quick.
yes.
I have it right here. It says Kane bursts the myth about the green gear and says it was never part of the plan for years. Photos of Kane wearing a green gear during his days as a tag team champions with DX member X-Pac had circulated amongst wrestling fans, but the attire has always been a mystery because Kane never actually wore it.
Yeah. Because I never remember him wearing it out on TV or anything. So that's why I was just kind of confused. But yeah, with Kane and X-Pac,
that was the only thing cool that X-Pac ever did.
Right. And then get Kane to say "suck it," with the voice box. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So let's open. All right, we got a few can of worms we want to open up here. So let's do our first point counterpoint. So does CM Punk return to AEW in 2023? Reason why I was kind of seeing this is because there. I mean, Punk's been circulating around in the wrestling world. I mean, what he wasn't he backstage? I believe at like one of
he backstage visited WWE when they were in Chicago.
Right.
He was backstage visiting TNA in Chicago.
Right.
So he's been jumping around to companies like out there, and every time he does, it makes news. It makes news. Why wouldn't AEW bury the BS and try to make this work? Because he's the only guy in their company that makes newsworthy.
I think it's got to be between, everybody in the elite and him, to bury it or talk it out. So,
I mean, there's rumors that most of the locker room don't want him to come back, supposedly.
Yeah.
But is it just them like, oh, our friends don't want him to come back? Or do you guys not want to get paid? Like, I understand they're getting paid. I understand your contracts are great. Like, I get that. And I respect the work that everyone that has done there. But if you don't have the true marquee guy...
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're not going anywhere.
You got to fall in line sometimes. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to be rude to anyone, and this goes for the Midwest too, because Zmiz be in locker rooms too. Like, fall in line, dude. Just, I understand you have bigger high hopes for you and stuff, and if better things come your way, take it, reach that ring, and run with it. Run as far as you can with it. But at the same time, if there's somebody that actually is still putting more seats or butts in the seat, just hang on to the ride and you can make money too. Why? Like, Kevin Nash is not wrong. They're not, everyone said, you can listen to both sides of the fence, guys. It's okay. Because that's how we make money, and just let it go. It's stupid. Stupid.
Yep. You gotta have to bury the hatchet if you're gonna try and make it.
We saw
it's
Ultimate
over,
Warrior come back to WWE.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that would even happen either. But I think time's running out
I mean,
for.
that's where I prefer. I wanted CM Punk to come back to WWE. Think about it. If CM Punk came back to WWE. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre's there right now. Like, there are so many guys that are worth a damn in a company that's actually pushing towards like one single goal. I'm sorry to say this. AEW has too many people wanting one goal and not seeing the bigger picture where everybody can win.
Right.
You can still want to be the best. You can still shoot to be the best. But if somebody's better than you at the time, let it happen and just take your course. That's all I'm saying, man, because we could be living in a great age of wrestling if people would just like drop the egos.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, let's.
Punk should be in AEW right now.
Yeah. I mean, he should be, but like I said, I think there's still things that needs to be cleared up with that, and he was paid out the rest of his contract, from what I understand. So, you know, he's not going to come back there and work for free because he's already got money.
Right?
Um,
I
so
hope
how
Collision
about
gets
that?
rid of Rampage, though, too.
Right. Bring up about an NXT. Will the white and gold brand of today ever be as great as the black and gold brand was?
I think we need to stop comparing the two.
I guess that's a fair statement. Yeah.
Because, and the reason I say that, it's like the whole idea, like, you can't compare the Attitude Era to the Golden Age of wrestling. You can't. Because it's two different things. Both were great in their own values, correct?
Right. Of course. Right.
But you can't compare them. And I think that's kind of where that's going with Sean and them. Like, the Fruity Pebble NXT, it is what it was. It was terrible. It was trash. Thank God it's gone. Thank God it did not last as long as it did. The black and gold, man, it showed WWE fans what they were missing on the indies. It was literally, in my opinion, the connection between the mainstream wrestling world and your local wrestling. Like, it was one of the true connections that WWE had, and it showed guys that should have been up in the main event spot a long time ago, way before they got the chance to go there. Kevin Owens, Sammy, Finn, all those guys. So that's what the black and gold did, right? It was taking those indie darlings, as I said, the indie darling era, and I'm going to call it that because that's what it was, okay? and bringing them to the main stage where they belonged, right? That's how I feel about it. The white and gold brand is WWE trying to catch fire within their own style of wrestling, okay?
Yeah.
So to compare that to these guys that did it all on the, in bingo halls, etc., and hone their craft and worked the road and did all that kind of stuff versus the guys that like, hey, I'm going to just become a professional wrestler and go right into, I'm athletic. I'm going to go right into this. Not presumably, speaking, the PCA is built up of people that have not wrestled that many matches compared to what the black and gold was at that time, right? The assumption. Right. So to compare those is wrong to these guys over here that are like just trying to break their teeth in and get trained at what is considered a respectable place. I think that it's a different style, and I'm okay with seeing what the white and gold does. I enjoy a lot of the stuff that Sean actually has been doing down there. Him and them, are the guys down there, are doing, and gals are doing a great job putting product together, in my opinion. So I still love NXT. I am still a big fan of NXT. I'm still a big supporter of NXT. I would like to see some of the indie darlings from the newer world make their way in there. Like Rohit would be awesome in NXT. I don't know that's where he's going or what. I'm just saying, like, I would love to see Rohit there. I would love to see guys like Ethan Page make the jump and then work their way up, like through in WWE cycle. Like, there's a lot of guys that I think could benefit going through the NXT world.
Yeah. And what about even during the draft? They were even drafting their champions to go to like on major brands. So it's like,
And at first, I didn't get it, but it's pretty cool. Like they've really set up the groundwork because Indy Hartwell released her title and left, and like you have a bunch of women down there that are cool. I'm a big fan of Tiffany Stratton right now. Like, I think she's killer chick, and she just plays that dirty, prippy, the cheerleader you always want to slug in the face, but you can't because she's too dang pretty. Like, she does that character really well, and I love it, and I think it's a great thing. There's some great talent down there right now, so I can't wait to see what happens. It really is. And honestly, when I started looking at NXT as the terrible 90s sitcom, it made it easier to watch.
yeah,
I still stand by that. It just reeks Saved by the Bell every time I watch it.
yeah, yeah. I hear you. I'll tell you what, but I will say that today's, the white and gold will not sell out an arena like the black and gold did. Remember the whole takeover Brooklyn's and all that.
I agree with you.
That I think it's missing something as far as when it comes in the talent perspective or the way that the storylines are played out. Maybe it's just they have to they have to play that out, to make it in this business. So I think a good part of that lies on the booking down there and who's running it, Sean. So
NXT Gold, Black and Gold did one thing worthwhile. It was the actual attempt where they caught ECW atmosphere almost. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like they had that same almost feeling at NXT. Like it had that capture, that heart, that soul, that like wrestlers that were literally trying to prove themselves. That's the only thing I don't like about NXT now is I don't necessarily feel that those guys and gals are trying to prove themselves. Like they want to truly be there.
I and like I said, I think they're just coming in. They're bringing new people in to just start out in their industry and not go into who's been making their mark around the territories independently, and then seeing about giving them a shot, and then seeing how they can make it, and knowing what they can do, and bringing their flavor and bringing their skill into that brand and spicing it up a little bit. Right now, to me, it's just like kind of bland. Just
Well,
not entirely, but there could be more. There could be more seasoning in the white and gold brand.
I agree. Like I'm happy they brought in like Dragon Lee, right? So
Right.
like that's a good touch down there. And like I said, going through NXT, some of these guys that are working, just the local cities, they're going to need to go through that, and they're going to need to learn that character development. They're going to need to learn how to points, cues, all that kind of stuff. And NXT is the place to do that. But if you want to try to recapture what NXT Black and Gold was, it is going to be able to catch that soul, that energy that ECW had, that NXT Black and Gold had, and ROH even had at one time. ROH had a real mass following that was kind of ECW style. Too many letters. and to recapture that, I think NXT could do it. It's just they're going to have to bring in, like you said, the little other flair. So, like, you can have your homegrown talent brewing in there, but if you don't bring in the guys that worked this town, this city, this country, you know, and developed throughout a little, you won't be able to get the true growth. And I mean, they're bringing in coaches from that style, so like bear with it. Only Lorcan's down there training, so it can only get better.
True. Absolutely.
And I say that with most love and respect, because Oni Lorcan was one of my favorites out of the black and gold that never really got elevated correctly. Dude's a powerhouse when it comes to a wrestler.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So
agree with you there.
You got him down there. You got Regal. I love what they're doing with Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey, Regal's boy. Like,
yeah,
that stuff's amazing. I think it's beautiful. I think it's going to fit their thing. I really want Drew to bring back his PowerPoints about how like him and Charlie are going to break down people and break them up and, you know, and destroy them. Like, dude, if he went back into like the old, like, you know, 60s PE coach-esque character, I'm telling you, there could be something there, man. It'd be fun. It'd be cool. And Drew would be the guy to be able to bring that together. I love him and Charlie Dempsey together. So Joe Gacy's amazing. This is another one. I've told you that how many times now? I'm a big fan of Joe Gacy.
So that kind of leads into here. So what superstar that's on the WWE overall corporation deserves a major run that's never gotten one yet? I mean, we're talking major, even something, I guess you can kind of say mid card if you want, but if there's somebody that just stands out that you think that they're not given to reach their full potential because WWE's got them doing something else that's totally off base. You know what I mean?
Two come into my mind right now, and one of them's for nostalgia purposes. And he's in the business right now, and we're seeing a lot of his classmates start to finally walk out, and they're putting their shoes down for the last time, supposedly, right? And that's Shelton Benjamin. Okay?
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin is one of the guys that never got a fair shake in the Attitude Era of being great. And I don't really care if he got a world title run, as much as I'd like to see him actually get a world title run, but like Roman's too high for him. Like, there's no way you can get Shelton Benjamin to feel like he's going to compete in that world. But there's this, you know, consolation prize that that could potentially be where Shelton comes in. But like, Shelton Benjamin was so hot when Shawn Michaels and him had that feud. Him and Triple H had the feud, and there was going through all that stuff back then. That why did the trigger not get pulled to get Shelton Benjamin up in that true hunt for it? Like, he did a couple Elimination Chamber matches for the world title, but like never really did a real chase for it, you know. And I think that'd be a fun one to see happen. Otherwise, his tag team partner, Cedric Alexander, is my other choice as a guy that's not getting a true fair shake, in my opinion, on how good he is.
Right. Well, like you said, you and I have talked about this before, but one guy that needs one before it gets even, because the guy doesn't age, but he is.
Oh, yes.
We're talking about R-Truth, or even come back as Ron Killings. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's mastered so many things as far as like making people laugh. I mean, my gosh, the way that he carries himself playing all these all these promos and everything else, you know. I mean, not to mention this guy was, you know, former NWA World's Champion, for crying out loud, you know.
And he was a great NWA's World Champion.
Yeah. So, and that was outside of the whole Quick Get Rowdy and all the whatever.
I've been an R-Truth fan from K-Quick till now. So like,
Yeah.
but I also was a big Road Dogg fan. So when he came in with Road Dogg, like, I loved it. Loved everything about it. I still love R-Truth, and I think he's one of the most underappreciated wrestlers going today. And he has a better scissor kick than Booker T. I'm going to say it.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a shucky ducky quack quack moment for you.
No, I think you're right. He's more fluid with his offense than Booker T was. Booker T looked like a robot trying to motion and needed WD-40 every now and then to try to just
He
even
does
move.
look like a Tin Man.
He does. He moves like a freaking Tin Man.
I never, until you just said that, never. I'm a huge Booker T fan, so like I was a big Booker T fan until they made him Joe Bro or whatever.
Joe Bro. GI Bro, yeah.
That's something stupid,
bro.
but no. I think Booker T is one of the hidden gems of wrestling.
Yeah.
Not so much on commentary, but when it came to like a character, yes. But no, R-Truth, man, R-Truth would be spectacular, and I still think the little Jimmy gimmick could be world title thing, and it doesn't have to be a long thing. It could be like a 2-month, 3-month thing. It doesn't. I would be cool with R-Truth being a transitional champion if done and played right.
Right.
I mean, R-Truth is just the guy is. Yeah, it's sad that he didn't get it, in my opinion.
He's been around for like ever for that company, and off and on.
Looks the same way as he did when he came in.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
It's one of my heroes, man.
So this next one here, you and I touched on briefly before we went on the air, and I'd like you to go ahead and elaborate, if you could, with this.
Yes, so I guess Randy's coming back this Monday, too. So he's supposed to be in the building Monday, but there's been speculations now that the doctors told Randy to hang it up and call it done, that he's done. And it's funny because, it's not funny. John Cena just recently stated that he can no longer do it on a daily basis either. Like, he said that it hurts his body, like it's destroying his body now. Like, he can't withstand that punishment anymore and that level that he'd want to perform at. Like, part of me, like, both of these guys, like, they class a whole group of guys in the ruthless aggression era, like them, Edge, so many greats that went through that, and we as wrestling fans pooped so hard on the ruthless aggression era, and there was some great stuff there. Batista, Ray, Eddie, so there's so many things, and like, to see it almost feels like, when Shawn, Triple H, and Undertaker walked out that one time at WrestleMania, like, there goes another group of heroes, right? Like, there goes another group that, like, you sat around, and I've always will be a big Randy fan. I'm a huge Bob Orton fan. Like, those guys were some of the guys that I truly, like, could not stop watching, like, could not stop enjoying what they did. And even when people called Randy Orton Borton because, he was boring or whatever, and just, dude, Randy Orton was a class of his own, man. He made things look so effortless. And to think of him being truly hurt now, because that man's worked through a lot of injuries, if I'm not mistaken, through his career. From like things I've read about things and learning things now. But that dude had one of the coolest, has easily easily probably the coolest finishing move of all time when it comes to the RKO. Just the fact that he's made it so unique to himself, being able to hit it out of nowhere and stuff. Like you can't. It feels bittersweet if he actually truly retires. I hope it's a work, and I hope like we get a whole new version of Randy Orton, because Randy Orton is that damn good in my opinion, and we could get like a whole nother layer to him and get like kind of pull him away from that whole Viper gimmick. But we'll see what happens. I truly hope it's not his end.
If he comes back and maybe plays it off, maybe pulls like a Mark Henry retirement thing, and if Riddle happens to come out there as well, and then he just turns on Riddle. There,
I still like that. I still want Riddle to be the one that turns on Orton, but
yeah, I don't see it happening though.
I don't either. But like that's how I always wanted that to go.
No,
but if it happens, thank you, Randy, for giving us great years and being easily one of the best things for a long period of time. So you deserve this time with your family, in my opinion. If you have to, unfortunately, put the boots in the middle of the ring.
Yep, I totally get it. And we'll just, I mean, if he does come back, it's going to be a strong comeback. But I haven't really heard anything regards of his recovery. So I guess we're going to find out tomorrow night to find out.
Like I said, I think that's what. Let me.
So you. So how So are you solid on the news about him being there tomorrow night?
That's what I'm checking on that one.
Okay. But Randy, though, I mean, multiple time, a world champion, WWE champion, whatever the case may be, the Viper, the Apex Predator, Legend Killer is when he first started.
There's just massive rumors that he's supposed to be potentially doing an announcement. That's all I'm reading. So
we'll just we'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully, we hate to see it happen, but we all have our time, and we all get our time in this business where we have to step down from that active role, and that our bodies can't handle it no more. Where we can't physically do it, um, and if that, like I said, if that's the case, he's given us quite a bit to remember. So many memories, so many accolades. Definitely a Hall of Fame career, whether it be WWE Hall of Fame or not. He's definitely, uh, definitely did his father proud with Bob. So
yeah.
There's no doubt in that. So
he had back fusion surgery.
Yes, back fusion surgery. Exactly.
They still don't know when he's due to come back, but like I said, there's multiple rumors that he's supposed to be that there's potential of him coming back and doing an announcement. That there's all kinds of things. It keeps changing.
But when you think of back fusion, you're thinking about fusing vertebrae together.
I mean,
that
Hardy's still doing that. Like Matt Hardy had a back fusion, and he's still wrestling, and he really shouldn't. Like he needs to stop too. And I like Matt Hardy.
All Hardys need to stop.
No, I like Matt. So I will never. You'll never hear me really say anything bad about Matt. But that Jeff Hardy though, screw that guy. It's not even that good. Really,
not any good.
I just don't.
Oh my god!
You know what's funny is like we're gonna end on this.
Yeah,
is I was showing my son like some of Jeff Hardy matches, and he looks at me. He's like, "Actually, Dad, you're right. He's really not that good." I'm like, "I know," like because I showed him like RVD stuff. We were going through like all the. He found my DVD box, so I have a huge on my wall. I have all my WWE stuff. So he's going through it and looking at it because I told him he could start looking through it and if he wanted to. And he was watching the high flyer stuff. And they got to Jeff Hardy stuff. And he did two. He literally comes to me and goes, he did 2 high flying moves, Dad. This is what Chase is telling me. So he's like, he did 2 high flying moves. I'm like, I know, Jeff Hardy really wasn't that good, bro. Like, it's okay. The rest of the world will get it eventually. I'm not saying he didn't add to the company, I mean the business. So I'm not taking away his accolades.
Right.
I want people to realize that. Like I'm not removing him from history. Like there was good things that he did and he brought good things, but he wasn't that good. That's all I want is the people to acknowledge that Jeff Hardy was just another flash in the pan.
Well, I mean, obviously, I mean, he's had a lot going on, but now he's trying to battle his way back from his demons again. So
no, he needs to, and I hope he does. I'll give any man credit for that. Like I said, it's purely the fact that he's not that good in the ring. Like people think, like he just no character except for like I paint my face and I'm charismatic. How is that charismatic? You put paint on your face, bro. That is not. That's a nut job. Like you're supposed to be in an asylum.
I'm feeling very charismatic today. I'm going to go paint
God.
No. Oh my gosh.
All fun and games. Jeff Hardy, you can still stay. You're allowed at the table. You did do stuff, right. But my rant's over with. Take us home.
Well, like I said, we're going to decide here probably throughout the middle of the week if we can get a guest on, and if like some Memorial Day weekend, you want to spend with loved ones, family, whatever. But we'll kind of make our determination probably in the middle of the week. If we do, we should be having a guest. We were supposed to have a guest here, but apparently our schedules got crossed up, and something else was overtaking the priority of appearing on our show. So we're going to work that out again. We got a list of. In fact, I've been contacted by a couple of others. Actually, right before we went on the air tonight about some others wanting to potentially come on. So it's not like we don't have a shortage of guests. It's just we had a mismanagement or a crossover of something that happened here, but where it didn't work out here this week. But we still give you guys a show for those that hung in here with us to kind of go over our review and some of our hot topics here. We thank you to those who hung in here with us, and we'll have something here for you. By the next time we get on the air here, we're going to have something as far as like with a guest, and hey, we'll make it happen. And I got to make some other things happen here too, because I wanted to fix another thing here because I've been fixing videos and all this other stuff, and I got another video I got to fix here. So, but maybe we'll get that on next week. So hopefully you're seeing this one particular outro for the very last time. So for the Gem City Mouth Zmiz, I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby. We thank you very much for tuning in here for us tonight. Have a great rest of your week and a great Memorial Day weekend. And make sure you follow our Facebook page to let you know if we're going to be back on Sunday or not. And if not, we'll definitely be on the following week. So tune in and have a good week, guys. We'll see you all later. Good night. Thanks again for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Don't forget our friends at the following: Outside the Ring STL, the Searcher and Hide podcast, and We Talk Wrestling. The Falls Count Everywhere podcast is an LTX Enterprises production.